What is up, Friday the 13th Fanatics? It is Ashrock back with another review. This is going to be on the NECA Jason Voorhees Bloody Variant. Jason Voorhees? Yeah. This figure came out actually not too long, about 4 months ago. I did pick it up back then, and I never had a chance to review it. I really wanted to review it, and always a big Jason fan growing up, huge Jason fan. The Ugly Bastard, which we'll showcase a little bit later. But he was always my favorite. Number two was Freddy, right behind him. But for me, it was always Jason. I don't know what it was about the guy. He just freaked me out. You could run away from him at 500 miles an hour. He pretty much crawled, and yet he was always right behind you. So you just can't outrun the guy. So it was crazy, and he's just very, very powerful. I mean, he was just such a strong, you know, horror flick guy. Whatever. So this is part of the NECA series. This is my first NECA review as well. I've always admired their work, but this is, I think they really stepped up their game. This is before the new Predator figures came out. This one here, I thought really stood out. This and the RoboCop. So yeah, let's look at the paint apps. I don't have the box art on me. It's nothing special. You guys know NECA box art. It's the hard plastic when you have to use a knife to open it up. So let's look at the paint app. So again, this is the Bloody Variant. Absolutely awesome. You know, if you're going to get one, obviously get the bloody one. You might as well. The sheer amount of detail that NECA has always been good with their paint apps, I think. They've always done really good. I mean, where they've lackluster is their articulation, which we'll get to when I talk about articulation. Alright? But the paint on this guy is great. I mean, you can tell his pants, he's been through some stuff here. I don't know if that's blood or poops. He done shit himself. But no, it's definitely blood. I don't know why it's all right there, though, all by the crotch area. That's kind of weird. But whatever. I'm not judging Jason. I ain't trying to mess with you. Alright. He's got blood all over his shirt as well. A nice glossy finish with the blue. Came out really, really nice. The hands, I mean, just absolutely beat up. I mean, look at that. I mean, you can tell he's been through some stuff. And the machete, real nice. I mean, look at that detail, dude. You don't get much detail. I mean, McFarlane does really well with their detail as well, but you know, their articulation is kind of booty. The mask as well, you can see right there, he actually has this battle-worn mask, which continues on to his face. So you can see how much detail went into that, dude. Think about that. You see the mask all cut up, and then it went through into his head. That is phenomenal, man. And so much, you know, he's had the mask on for so long that it's made this indent on his face, or this dent on his face, or maybe he got bashed on the side of the head. I'm not sure, but look at that, dude. That is, imagine waking up to that, ladies. Huh? Honey, what's for breakfast? Pancakes again? Where's my machete? No, but he's definitely ugly. Ugly man. I mean, I'd be a serial killer too if I looked like this. Seriously. I mean, what else do you have at that point? You know, screw it. You're not going to get none. People piss you off. They left you in the lake. Those damn teenagers. The one eye that is visible, you can see there's blue. And then, I mean, even so much as the head, you can see the little veins popping out. And this is phenomenal, dude. I mean, there's no doubt that this is one of the best painted figures I've owned. It's just the sheer amount of detail that went into it is amazing. The teeth. I mean, look at that, dude. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, maybe. You guys could really appreciate that ugly grill. Look at that, dude. That is just... Come on. You don't see that in figures, man. That is beautiful. So, I mean, it's not beautiful. It's actually the opposite of beautiful. It's repulsive. I mean, let's put this thing back on, shall we? There we go. Oh, that's much better. Look at you, Mr. Handsome. For paint apps, I'm going to give this guy a 5 out of 5. Absolute home run with this one. And they knocked it out of the park. Excellent job, NECA, with that. Articulation. So he's got a hinge on the arm. It is kind of a ball joint. It's really a hinge, but it is also a ball joint. It's very limited. With NECA, they have very, very tight joints. You got to break them in. But, you know, single jointed elbow. It is also a kind of like a ball joint there as well. He's got wrist articulation, so moves all the way around, rotates, moves up and down. He does have a waist swivel. So forever NECA was lackluster in that waist swivel area. and now he has one. So that's really, really cool. The head rotates all the way around. Goes up and down very little. He's got this ball joint right here, which another piece of articulation that they have gotten better with over time. You know, if you don't believe me, go buy some of the old school Terminator 2 figures or buy any other movie figures that they make, and you'll see that they don't have, most of them don't have this kind of articulation. Even the RoboCop that came out, which is an awesome figure, I love that figure, did not have this articulation. So here you got the single jointed knees as well. It is, you know, it's not a big deal, you know, but it would have been awesome if it had double jointed. He rotates at the foot. It's very, very limited because of the pants covering it. No ankle rockers or anything like that. It doesn't really go up and down, but it does rotate very little. Also rotates at the knee there, you can see. So, articulation, I'm going to give him an actual 3 out of 5. It could have been a little bit better, but much improvement in NECA's work over the years. Again, go look at some of their old school stuff. I'm sure most of you have some kind of NECA from back in the day. And, you know, I'm glad that they're getting better and better with that. You know, those new Predator figures have gotten really, really good as well. The Arnold Schwarzenegger figure, I forget, I got a brain fart right now with the character name. Shit. Dutch. There you go. Dutch figure is just as awesome as this with the articulation. So, definitely good stuff. Final score on this bad boy. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 5. I think it's a really, really dope figure. If you're a big fan of Jason, if you're a big fan of horror flicks, this is the figure you want. The size of him is great. He does stand a little over 6 inches tall. But the sheer amount of detail that went into this figure. For me, a lot of my figures recently, a lot of my purchases have been nostalgic purposes. I've been buying them because I grew up on them. I want them in my collection, and right now I have a whole detolf that I'm just going to start setting up with all my favorite movie characters, you know, the Gizmos and the Jasons and the whatever else in terms of movie figures. And NECA, you know, kudos to you folks with the paint that you guys put on these. I think one thing that a lot of people overlook, and you know, people, they love articulation, they love all that stuff, but for me, articulation is great. But I'd rather have a figure like this with this much detail and not as much articulation than a figure that has tons of articulation where it looks almost fake, as opposed to this here that give you real life detail. I mean, to give you that kind of detail where, you know what I mean, the cut on top of the mask made its way through to his face. That's awesome, dude. That is well thought out. That is something that whoever is making this figure is looking out really for the collector. I mean, and the people that admire the character. It's not for kids. It really isn't. This is for a collector. This is a collector's type of figure. And I appreciate that so much, being a collector. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned to more reviews. I'm going to be reviewing a couple more figures this week. There will be surprises. There will be some random stuff. You never know. I'm also doing the Danger Room tutorial. So stay tuned to that. I'm going to break down the Danger Room. I did some rearranging, so there's some new stuff in there. I know a lot of people have been asking about the detofs and how I set that whole thing up, so stay tuned to that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, remember to laugh every day. I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.